Terry. Hope you're having a great day today. As your video lesson, two things I want to talk about. I'll go down the list, and if you have questions at the end or want me to look at anything, feel free to shoot a message on over, and I'll do my best to answer. So let's get to it. So I was going to go over some technical, some jamming concepts, and then talk about the Grateful Dead tune Casey Jones. So I'll start with the jamming, I'll start with the technical work first. So the first thing is our C major box 1. That's built out of this original A minor pentatonic / C major pentatonic box, one that everyone kind of starts the guitar with. All right, and remember that we added the F and the B to that box, and that produced the C major scale in that position. Now, what we want to start practicing is practicing our sequences with those major boxes, especially this first one here. So we'll do a 3-note sequence. So 1, 2, 3, back 1, 1, 2, 3, back 1, 2, 3, back 1, 2, 3, back 1. All the way to the top. Back down. Right, so being with that 3-note sequence. And then we talked about last time, I believe, those are my notes, that not only are we targeting C's, now we're also targeting E, which is the third of the chord. Make sure, I'm pretty sure I told you that already. So check my notes here real quick, so I'll tell you something that you don't know about. Yes. So targeting the second note of the C major chord. So just as a recap from that, so we have C major, right? E form right there. We have a C chord here. We have a C chord here. And the first order of business was getting those shapes on our fingers, and then the second thing after that was actually targeting the note C. Right. So when you're playing, say for example, this pentatonic box here, box 2, landing on that C right there to make that C major pentatonic. Right? And the next note you want to start targeting, now that you can hear the C, is you want to start targeting the note E. That's this guy right here. So you can do your magic triangle E, root 5, right, same that you do with C, right? And then in this box position right here, we have the note E right here, and we have the note E right here. We have those two E's. So I'm playing the scale. There it is right there. As well. So either the C or the E are fair game to land on. I would suggest doing the E a lot until you get that under your ear, in your ear, that is. So if you're practicing, say, like a solo line, can you sing that E? And then you can land on the C as well. So you notice this maybe kind of goes into what I was getting ready to talk about a second ago, is making phrases that are not too long. When we were jamming last time, before you got comfortable with what we were doing, your jam, you were kind of like throwing everything that you knew all at the solo, and it's better just to know that all these things exist, but then pick one particular thing that you're going to do in your solo. For example, I'm going to use these notes right there. I'm going to use those 3 notes. Let's say 4 notes, to make it more major sounding with that F in there. So we have C, D, E, F, right? Those are my 4 notes, right? And then what I'll do is I'll just do 4 notes, change the instructions to that, 4 notes, and then I have to make that musical sounding. So I'll do a sequence, and then land on that E right there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, landing. So I may have 2 phrases, so I'll have an A idea, which is this. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and coming back to the E right here. And the second one, coming back to the C right there. They're short little ideas built off a sequence and using that half-step relationship that the major scale has that the pentatonic doesn't have. So that way the scale sounds, if your riff more sounds more major. And notice I'm not flying all over the neck. I'm not trying to jam as many notes as possible into my melody line. It's simply 4 notes, and I have 2 sequences, and I land on either E or C. I say I land on E first, gotta get that sound in your ear, and then switch between the 2. And that might be a good antecedent consequent of a first phrase, right? And then what you can do is you can fragment a piece of that, like repeat it. So I have my A melody here, a second piece of A, a fragment where I take a 3-note sequence and repeat it. You get away with it for a few times, then you gotta go back to the A melody. So I throw that on a backing track. Let's see here, let's use this one. Here I did the one for Casey Jones. We'll talk about it in a minute. Back to A. So I have my A here. Fragment. Don't know, I'm trying to do it. Back to A. Simple, right? You're not trying to do all kinds of crazy, you know. Quite yet. It's just a place to start where your melody makes sense. And then later on you can do all that fancy stuff, but the first thing is, can you construct a solid melodic line? Later on I'll teach you how to harmonize this. That's really neat. All right, so do that this week with your jamming. Do the C major pentatonic. Sorry, C major. Turn this off. Do the 3-note sequence with the C major scale, and then construct very simple, very small celled melodic ideas that are developed. Like we did there, where I was doing a 3-note sequence, followed by landing on either an E or landing on a C, and alternating those 2 things to give it some interest. And then fragmenting that into small pieces like I did. I took a 3-note sequence and repeated that 3-note sequence, and then come back to A again. That way I have a nice 20-second little melody right there. And if you think about it, go back, and if you have time this week, go back and find some of your favorite solos. Maybe not like Freebird and stuff like that, but just like, for example, like how long is the first solo for Comfortably Numb? It was like maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds. It's not 2.5-minute long solos. These solos are actually pretty small, or pretty short. I mean, but there are exceptions, like the Cliffs of Dover. It's like, yeah, it's the whole song, or like say like the last second solo in Comfortably Numb. That thing's like a minute and a half long or something like that. But those are exceptions to the rule, and it takes a long time to become a David Gilmour. So number 2 is Casey Jones. This one right here is this. Oh, sorry. One more time without the mess up. Now, how to go about learning something like that? The first thing I would do is just figure out where are my fingers going. It's using box 1 C major pentatonic and then a little bit of box 5 C major pentatonic. So he's using this box here and a little trip over here, just like he does in, I want to say China Cat Sunflower does that. We'll talk about that when we get there one day. So first thing I would do is figure out where to put my fingers in small fragments. So the first thing I would learn is getting that accurate. So notice he just goes straight up, grabs that C right there. He bends the D. Oh, wait a minute, what's that? What note is that? That is a D, and he's bending it a whole step up to the E. So the opening is literally with the fancy bend in there. He's doing this. Wait 1 second. E, C, G, E, C, G. It's an arpeggio. That opening lick is straight up a C major arpeggio. It's along the same lines as this. When we did Farmhouse, right? The opening lick. Right? The Dead are doing, Jerry Garcia and Bob Weir are doing the same thing. It is a C major arpeggio that they're doing there. Oop, too far. Right? G, A, C. He's outlining a C chord there. Right? He lands on that right there because it's a little bit of suspense. So then I'll practice this section here. Those hammer rolls nice and clear. So first phrase, there's our first piece. And then D right here, he's banging the whole step. There we go, Doug. Bending this D here up to an E. So E, C, A, C, and landing on the C right there, C major. So he's hitting. If I played without the bends, so I have this D right here, he's bending a D a whole step up to this E. E, C, A, C. If I take the bends out of it and just play the chord tones he's bending to. So the whole thing, he is outlining a C major chord with all that stuff, that C major pentatonic boxes, using for all the chord tones. Like I said, I would practice each one of those three pieces separately and then string them together to get them up to tempo. I'm in box 5. Right? So there's the opening lick of the tune, and then you get into the chorus to see I'm still in tune after all that string bending. A nice basic strum pattern that we'll do just as placeholder until we get the fancier strum that they're doing in the song is just to keep time. Because remember, time is far, if you're going to mess up something, you can mess up the chord a little bit, but making sure the time is still there is still important. So you have C, down, 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 down. F, the second F, round of Fs. Each one of these chords twice. C, C again. F, G, key, C, Jones, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And those are the chords he's soloing with, or that's the solo section chords. The next section of the song is this, the verse. Same strum, D twice. F to a G here if you want, to a C. Ooh, that's interesting. Chromatic. Oh, sorry, that last one, C twice, D, F, E, A minor, G, one piece on those. So the F is going to get one pattern, and then to E, one pattern, A minor, to G. Now you might be like, oh, why are we not soloing over that section? That section is a lot harder to solo over top of because there's some twists and turns. You're going with the D chord, which goes to an F, which is not in the same key, and you're going from a F, E, A minor, which is a little bit more higher level soloing. So for soloing over this one, I would highly recommend starting off with just the C, the F, and the C because you're in C major. And then what I can do is, for practice, I have a lot of options here. C major pentatonic. Winging on chord turns is fun. And I can steal licks from the melody when playing this thing. Fragment, 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 completion. Rhythmic diminution. There you have it. Hours of fun. Cool. So work on those two things for me, and if there's no questions, I will see you same time next time. Take care.